Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Assemble. My name is High Ruler, and today we're talking roadmap predictions. In a few short days, Crystal Dynamics are going to be unveiling their latest roadmap for Marvel's Avengers, as well as the next State of the Game blog, which will ideally go over some high-level overview and objectives of what they want to accomplish in 2022. Now, when you talk about the roadmap, there has been some debate within my community at least about whether that roadmap will talk about 2022 and go into detail, or just do the last 4 months of 2021. So, based off their wording, I will say that it does seem like it's only going to be September, October, November, and December. So, with that being said, my predictions will only cover those 4 months, but I will talk about 2022 and what maybe to expect out of that. Okay, so first and foremost, let's talk about September. Now, when I think about September, I think about a piece of content that they've been sitting on for a while, something that's very easy for them to get out, and something that I think players have been waiting on for awfully too long this far. And the only piece of content that comes to mind is Cloning Labs, right? Cloning Labs, as far as I know, was supposed to be unveiled last year in October 2012 and has been delayed ever since because of network issues and all the bugs that have happened with the game. Now, we do have our first piece of OLT content. We've had it for a few months now. So to me, it makes sense that the first piece of content that they're going to release as part of this roadmap would be Cloning Labs. I see Cloning Labs as that third week of September. They released it, new gear, new everything, and just kind of go with it from there. Now, obviously, with that being said, it is kind of the easiest piece of content to get out, all things considered. Technically speaking, as far as I know, it's been done other than, once again, the network issues have been impacting most of the game. So in terms of the features and everything, it has been done for a while now, right? We've seen Fran Mirabella play it in September of last year. There was a video of an Italian YouTuber going through and completing it, even though his was obviously bugged. People have played this and they've already gone through it. So now I think it's time to actually officially unveil the piece of content and let players play it this month. Now let's talk about October. October is a little bit more difficult for me to figure out, but I think for my prediction, I'm going to go with the patrol mode. Now, patrol mode was delayed from this summer into an unspecified time, and for me, I believe that patrol mode needed a lot of work to be done. I said this when it was officially delayed. I said what we were getting with patrol mode, if they still released it as was it going to be the experience that people wanted, right? And I think hopefully given the amount of time that they've had to work on it would give them enough time to work out all the things that they need to do, stuff like join in progress, and make it a more fleshed out experience for players to enjoy. Ideally, we do see patrol mode in the October kind of month to give us another piece of content to play in that end game loop specifically. So for me, October makes a lot of sense for patrol mode. Now, in terms of any events or something, I know people have asked a lot about Marvel Zombies events or something that kind of does like spooky season within the game. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening. I really don't. I just don't see them kind of putting the time and effort into an event like that. I definitely think in October, we're probably just going to see patrol mode. But with that being said, if they were to kind of dish out like a Marvel Zombies event or something like that, I obviously wouldn't be opposed to it, but I'm trying to keep myself as realistic as possible to keep myself at a baseline here. And I don't want to give like myself false hope or even say false hope on this video. So I think patrol mode works for October. All right, so let's talk about November now. For me, November is probably the Wakanda OLT. Now, alongside the Wakanda OLT would be the power cap increase. They said that a power cap increase was coming later this year. I don't think it makes sense to put it alongside Cloning Labs. I think it makes sense to put it alongside the Wakanda OLT. And I may mess up some things here, so just bear with me on this one. So, to my understanding, at one point in time, the Wakanda OLT was going to be the actual final mission of the War for Wakanda expansion. Now, I'm curious to see if that still is in the cards. I'm curious to see if we get that still the experience that they kind of were trying to offer us, a long time ago. Or if they've totally revamped it and kind of created like a new beast entirely, right? What I would like to see out of the Wakanda OLT, though, is that final boss fight fully fleshed out, right? I think taking that final boss fight, I think Claw being in his giant form more would make a very interesting experience and a very interesting boss fight. And I think, honestly, I would love to see something like that in the OLT. Now, with that being said, if it's a totally different beast entirely and they've remade the OLT into something totally new, totally fine with me as well. well, right? I definitely think there's might be a pattern here of how they build them out, though. So in my mind, when I look at it, there was going to be a pattern that is seemingly had, right? So when you look at it, Cloning Labs was going to be the first one, which meant that it was going to be an entirely new experience. When you look at the Kate's final mission, that's obviously a revamped kind of mission done over again, right? And then you look at the Wakanda one, at one point in time, that was going to be the final mission there. So now, obviously, with kind of that pattern being messed up, right? Obviously, Kate's going first, and then Cloney Labs, and now we don't know what the Wakanda LT. It's interesting to see exactly what they do with that pattern and how we differentiate between new experiences and revamped experiences, right? So, with that being said, though, I definitely see the Wakanda LT coming this year. I definitely see it coming alongside the power cap increase, and hopefully we get that in November with my prediction. So December is going to be a little spicy, right? Because obviously I have Spider-Man coming in December, and I have him coming alongside the movie, barring any delays, of course. But the question always comes when you talk about Spider-Man is, what is PC and Xbox going to get? And truthfully, I just don't know. I really don't. When I did this video, my biggest fear was talking about Spider-Man, because obviously there's going to be a lot of people, no matter what, who are going to be very upset, right? Now, in my prediction, do I have anything coming alongside Spider-Man? I really, truly don't. I don't have any new piece of content other than maybe the cosmetic rework, but that's not really a new piece of content. It's a new feature or a reworked feature, right? I don't have another hero coming alongside Spidey. I don't have anything else coming alongside Spidey. It's possible they rework an existing event to give you guys something to do over on those two platforms, but I just don't have anything in my brain that I can pick out and say this is possible. Now, I could be wrong, and there could be a She-Hulk or a Bucky, depending on how far they're done. It's very possible that, I could be wrong, but I, once again, don't want to give people false hope and say, like, there's definitely, I predict She-Hulk is coming in December. I would love She-Hulk in December. Don't get me wrong. If they do manage to do that and they have something alongside Spider-Man that kind of like, people are like, oh my God, this is great. That's really good. I'm really happy. But truthfully speaking, I just don't have anything there, I see Spider-Man coming in December. I see a Spider-Man event coming with him. I don't know if I would expect a story or operation coming out of him because he's such a unique character. But I definitely see a character, an event, a bunch of skins, obviously. And that's kind of what I see for December as a new hero. Now, even on that side of things, without a story, without anything, it's kind of a smaller content drop, so to speak, right? Because, as we've gone so far, we've gone 2 operations and an expansion with Spider-Man. It would just be like an event, and that's it, right? So for people on the PlayStation side, I don't see a Spider-Man story. For people on the Xbox PC side, I don't see a piece of content or another character coming alongside him, unfortunately. Once again, I know that's probably not what people want to hear, but obviously these are my predictions. I don't have any foreknowledge into the roadmap or anything. I'm just giving you guys my predictions and see what happens with them, right? Now that we've covered the rest of the 2021 roadmap, let's talk about the State of the Game blog and what that does. So the last time we got a State of the Game blog was in October, and it kind of just talked about the experiences of launching the game and what's happened, and then it kind of gave a little bit of an overview of like what to expect with the game moving forward. So when I think about the next blog, the State of the Game blog that's coming out on Wednesday, one of the things that I think they are going to talk about is kind of like how the first year has gone, both the successes and the failures and the stuff that they've learned from, right? And then what they'll do is what I think is they'll transition that into the 2022 outlook, right? What have they learned moving forward, right? When it comes to pieces of content, when it comes to what players engage with, when it comes to the criticisms that have been levied at them, right? What are they taking from year 1 and how are they transitioning that into year 2? Now, I don't think there will be any sort of huge announcements there. I know people have talked about like a free-to-play announcement and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know if I would, hitch my horse onto that one, so to speak. I just don't see that right now, to be honest with you. I mean, who knows at that point, right? Like, who knows what's next in terms of like, what does 2022 offer, right? If I had to put money on it, they'll talk about the evolution of endgame content. They'll talk about the evolution of the characters, the narrative, where they want the story to go over the course of 2022. I think it'll honestly be like, here's kind of our high-level objectives we want to hit in 2022, right? So let's say we want to have 4 characters out next year, all with brand new experiences, all new biomes, so on and so forth, right? They'll kind of give an overview of like, here's what we're throwing at the dartboard and here's where we want to hit on that dartboard, and that'll be it, really, right? I think honestly, you'll get an idea of where the game is going, right? In terms of like what to expect. You just won't get any hard dates for it. You know, you won't get any sort of like, we want this in here, we want this in here. It'll be like, here's what we want to do with the game, but there's no timetable for this. It'll just happen next year as it happens. And I think that's what to expect of the State of the Game blog. But with that being said, obviously, I know I may rustle some jimmies with my Spider-Man stuff today, but let me know what you guys think. Are you guys okay with my prediction of the roadmap? Or do you guys think it's too much, too little? What do you guys predict for the roadmap coming on Wednesday? And let me know what you think in the comments below. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. And I'll see you guys next time here on the channel. Take care, take it easy, and go CM Punk tonight. Later, guys.